it's time for the Eric Barnes Show. Find out what is going on inside Boonville Pioneer Baseball, straight from the coach. Exclusively on the Southwestern Indiana Sports Network. Wanting to scan those old videos, films, or audio to DVD? We'll look no further than Milligan Communications. We can also scan your old pictures, slides, and negatives to picture quality as well. With thousands of happy customers, let Milligan Communications help put your treasured memories on a digital media. Call Milligan Communications today at 812-630-2449. Milligan Communications, capturing your yesterdays.
This is your IHSAA. This is your state. This is your high school. This is your athletic association.
Fans, I'm IHSA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and we're here to make sure that all of this remains yours.
This is your state. This is your community. This is your IHSAA.
Hey everyone, Joey Chestnut here, world champion competitive eater. I follow Southwest Indiana Sports Network, and if you're hungry for sports, you should follow them too.
Follow the Southwest Indiana Sports Network at SWISportsnetwork.com or search Roku for our channel at SW Indiana Sports Network.
Hello and welcome to this week's Eric Black Show. You end up you're 5-4 on the season right now, 3-1 in the conference. Why don't you recap those games for us?
Okay, so going into last week, heading to Gibson Southern, we knew we had our hands full. They wound up throwing Garrett Reed, and he had a really nice outing. Located, mixed pitches well, really kept us off balance. We just had a really hard time of getting base runners. And I think the one thing that we can take away from that is, as the schedule gets a little bit tougher, we're going to be pitched a little different, and that really emphasizes us having to really grind out at bats. Just a couple touching points there. I know we've got a couple guys that are struggling. They're really pressing to try to make some things happen, and we're putting a lot of pressure on our pitching staff because I just haven't been as pleased with our defense. I know I was raving about it a little bit last week, but we've started to kind of really regressed a little bit, I feel. We've taken a step back. It's really hard to find practice time with the JV schedule now, taking over some of the home field time that we have, but we can't use that as an excuse. We've got to get better in game, and we've got to make some adjustments. And as a staff, we've talked about how we're going to do that, and we've expressed that to the players. We were really impressed. We haven't talked about the Central game yet, but I was super impressed with how well they took care of the baseball, how well they got in position to make plays. Maybe didn't look the best in infield, outfield, but when it came to game time, those guys they turned a switch, and it was really impressive to see. And I highlighted that whenever we talked post game about how you have to take pride in those little things, getting yourself in the right position, reading that good hop, and knowing where to throw the baseball or when to keep the double play in order, little things like that. So a lot of Gibson Southern was a lot like that too. And so they just wound up executing better than we did. They walked away with a 4-1 win, and we couldn't hang our heads. We had another game Thursday. Heritage Hills at home, but he has got a bright young future. He's got a good arm, had a good breaking ball early on, and really kept us off balance for a couple innings. But we were able to fight through. Actually wound up having a giant kind of 3-inning stretch there. We stretched the lead to 8-0, and unfortunately, we had that 5 spot again. I don't know what it is about 5 runs, but we gave up 5 again there and wound up winning 8-5. But again, takeaways from that game were defensive and a little bit of the pitching staff. We just struggled to throw strikes, and they had a couple blue pits mixed in there, but they didn't really barrel anything up. And we just kind of took that as a lesson that we've really got to work on those two parts of the baseball right there, the pitching and the defense. And hitting was great. Tyler Reinhardt hit his second home run of the year. Dominic Sharp hit everything on the nose, but just seemed to find somebody. and Mason Gladys had really good at-bats and had 3 hits and 2 strike counts. So we did everything we needed to do offensively. We just got to tighten up those other parts of the game, and I think we'll do that. To preview a little bit about what happened Monday, I guess to recap Monday, Central is a very good team. Very good team. Coach Franks has done a great job, and it really helps to have familiarity with the program, him being with Coach Gady for so long. Those boys really know how to play, and they took it to us. We gave them a lot of base runners. We made a couple mistakes on defense. We fell behind, in fastball counts with our pitchers, and those guys can hit fastballs, especially when they know they're coming. So a lot of credit to them, and hopefully we can learn a little bit about ourselves and really emphasize those little details, and hopefully it'll make us better for today for Washington. We're looking forward to seeing one of their top arms. Again, this is a conference game. This is huge. Us sitting at 3-1 right now doesn't mean anything at the end of the season. But we really want to come out here with our best foot forward, really kind of put the pressure on early, and just attack fastballs, have that aggressive mindset where we're not afraid to hit with 2 strikes. We're relaxed, we shrink our zone, we do the things we need to do to put the ball in play, and hopefully the results take care of themselves. So I'm looking forward to a good outing for Dominic Sharp. He's going to take the ball for us today, and we just hope we can play defense and get some timely hits behind him.
You said 5-4, but your losses have come to Jasper, Evansville Memorial, Gibson Southern, and Evansville Central, 4 teams that are known in Southern Indiana, not only in Southern Indiana but in Indiana as powerhouses in baseball. So you're playing a good schedule.
We are, and we told them a couple weeks ago. We were fortunate enough to kind of go through maybe I would say the easier part of our schedule, but now with Mondays consisting of Central last night, Castle this Monday, Evansville North the next Monday, it's just not going to get any easier. And the more we, just really not focus in and do the little things like we need to be doing, they're going to expose us as a team. Central did that last night. And my big message, I guess, at the end of that game was you just saw the excitement that they had. You saw the energy that they played with. And we've been preaching that because it does carry throughout a team. So I'm hoping we can respond, but our schedule is what it is. It's a lot of SIAC teams. I believe everybody but Mater Dei, and that's what you want. You want to call yourself a good team. You want to call yourself a good program. You're going to have to beat teams like that, and I hope that's what we can take from it, and eventually get to a point where we can do that on a regular basis. But for right now, we're just going to concentrate one game at a time. We're not going to look too far ahead. And just kind of take care of our business as it comes, to our doorstep. So, but the schedule is what's going to make us realize who we are very quickly. And if we need to make changes, we need to kind of have an attitude adjustment or whatever the case is. I think that schedule is going to really tell us exactly what we need to do to get better for that postseason run that we're hoping for.
And we're back on the Eric Barnes Show. Right after these messages from our sponsors. You're listening to the Southwest Indiana Sports Network, powered by William Brooks Communications.
You dream it, we create it at Street Dreams. Custom paint, fabrication, stereos, wheels, tires, and more. We're also your authorized Sinister Sound dealer. Street Dreams, 317-624-1000, where you expect quality and get.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Want to know what I like best about playing basketball for my high school? I like it because it's a place where my friends get to see me play. I like it because I'm playing for someone besides myself. I'm playing for everybody in my school and every person in my community.
Indiana high school sports. They're more than just a game.
Come and see me play.
So welcome back to the Eric Barnes Show, and we're joined by Boonville pitching coach Trent Creek. Trent, how you doing today?
I'm doing good, Joe. How are you?
Doing really good. Why don't you go ahead and give us a little bit about your coaching experience for the people that might not know?
Well, I attended Oakland City University. That's where I met Coach Barnes. I played baseball there for 3 years. A coaching experience started there in 2011. I was a graduate assistant there, and then coached some summer baseball here and there. And then when Coach Barnes took the head job at Boonville, he asked me to come on board. I believe that was in 2018 as the head JV coach. So I coached the JV for 2018 and 2019. And then we started to have a family, so I took a break, and he lured me back in this year to jump on board with the varsity and handle the pitching for them.
And, you know, you're the pitching coach, and, you know, that's kind of self-explanatory. You coach the pitchers, but I'm sure it has a lot more to do with it than just that. What does being a pitching coach entail?
Well, you know, there's a lot that goes into it because, you know, I'm not only, you know, calling my pitches for my pitchers from the dugout, you know, relaying the signs to the catcher, but I'm also, you know, keeping track of the running game from the opposing team, you know, kind of seeing, you know, what they're doing to try to steal bases, or, you know, working with the defense on coverages to take away bunts, or, you know, if guys are going to hit the ball to opposite field, have our outfield shaded that way. So it's, you know, all around, you know, it's not just the pitching, it's multiple facets of the game. And, you know, I also work with the outfielders on the defensive side during practice. So do a little bit of everything.
And, you know, and for the year, you guys sit at 6-4, but, you know, those 4 losses have come to some big name schools in Indiana baseball: Jasper, Evansville Memorial, Gibson Southern, Evansville Central. And, you know, you play a good schedule, it gets you prepared for sectional.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, so those games, like you said, those SIC opponents, you know, are tough games. They're usually beginning of the week, you know, followed by, you know, conference games on Tuesday and Thursday. And I believe that's the most challenging part of my week, is figuring out who I'm going to throw on what day to give us the best chance to win. You know, the Central and Jasper games, we just, you know, we didn't throw enough strikes. We weren't around the strike zone enough to compete. But the, you know, Gibson Southern game, Memorial game, specifically the Memorial game, I think that's one of the better games we've played all year. We threw a kid out there that hadn't really pitched much in high school at all. He's our starting shortstop, but he went out there and kept him off balance with, you know, breaking balls, change-ups, working the fastballs, both sides of the plate. But, you know, like you said, playing a schedule like that really gets you prepared for come May for sectional time, and that 3A sectional.
And, you know, who are some of the top pitchers that the Boonville Pioneers have this year?
You know, I would say if I had to pick our top 4 guys, it would be Dominic Sharp, Jake Fuller as our starters, and then I usually follow those 2 with either Tyler Reinhardt or Hunter Keebler. They're usually our main 2 guys at the pen to shut games down.
And, you know, as far as the PAC is concerned, you know, you got Southridge that sits at 4-0 on the conference season, and then you got Gibson Southern, Boonville, and North Posey sit at 2-1, and then you got Forest Park at 4-1, and you got Forest Park at 2-1. So you've got one undefeated team and 4 teams with 1 loss. I think that the conference championship's wide open right now.
Yeah, it absolutely is. You know, we've done a good job of taking care of conference opponents, especially protecting home field. You know, the only game we've lost at home this year was that first game of the season to Jasper. You know, we lost a tough PAC matchup on the road to Gibson Southern. But like you said, it's wide open. You know, we still got, you know, a big challenge in front of us. You know, tomorrow specifically playing, you know, number 2 and 2A Forest Park. You know, we know they're going to pitch well. They're going to be fundamentally sound defensively, and they're going to hit well. And then, yeah, we still have to play Tecumseh, North Posey, Southridge, Princeton. So it's like you said, it's wide open. It's still anybody's conference to win, and you know, we're just taking it one game at a time, and you know, one pitch, one inning at a time, and you know, seeing where we set to finish.
Well, Coach, good luck this season, and have a good week.
All right, thank you.
You're listening to Eric Barnes Show on the Southwest Indiana Sports Network, powered by Milligan Brosmer Communications. We'll be back right after these messages from our sponsors.
Wanting to scan those old videos, films, or audio to DVD? We'll look no further than Milligan Communications. We can also scan your old pictures, slides, and negatives to picture quality as well. With thousands of happy customers, let Milligan Communications help put your treasured memories on a digital media. Call Milligan Communications today at 812-630-2449. Milligan Communications, capturing your yesterdays.
This is your IHSAA. This is your state. This is your high school. This is your athletic association.
Fans, I'm IHSA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and we're here to make sure that all of this remains yours.
This is your state. This is your community. This is your IHSAA.
You dream it, we create it at Street Dreams. Custom paint, fabrication, stereos, wheels, tires, and more. We're also your authorized Sinister Sound dealer. Street Dreams, 317-624-1000, where you expect quality and get.
Welcome back to the Eric Barnes Show. And Coach, I'll tell you what, it's always nice to have someone like Trent Creek as your pitching coach, and I think that Boonville will benefit from that.
Giving a little background about Trent, we go a long ways back to Oakland City University where I first met him. And right away we clicked because we both have this distinct passion for baseball. And then as we transitioned into the coaching side really together in high school, he was my JV head coach his first 2 years, in my first 2 years. And had to step away for family reasons, and he was changing jobs and everything. But I know I had been on him on the winter. His wife could attest to that, and really poked and prodded and said, man, I have a spot for you. I need a pitching coach, and I really want you back by my side. And he was gracious enough to take up that offer, and it's been great ever since. He has a fantastic baseball mind. He's passionate. He's energetic. And probably the best thing that I love about him is he's really no nonsense. When it's between the lines time and umpire says play ball, that guy is as locked in as anybody that I've ever met. And I believe that our boys can really benefit from having that kind of personality, that kind of energy, that kind of knowledge. And he does such a fantastic job. He calls the pitches for us, but he has those conversations up front with our guys and says that if you feel free, you want to shake, you can go ahead and shake. You just need to make sure that you have conviction on that pitch. And so he does an awesome job of communicating. He does a really good job in-game studying. I can't tell you how many times we stayed up late at night talking about past games or upcoming games or our strategy for what we're going to do. And he's just such a great emblem of what high school coaches should be. And I'm just super proud that he's back, and I'm really glad that he's on our side, because I would not want a game plan against him, because he's great at what he does.
And your next three games are at home, and you got Tuesday night against Washington. You've got Thursday against Forest Park, and then next Monday you've got against Castle. Why don't you preview those games for us?
So Washington today, it's good. They're sort of like us. I believe they had to replace a few pieces in their lineup. They played Vincennes, we saw last night, had a similar result to us. So I think both teams are really looking to come out and rebound and seeing what the day holds. Again, we're throwing Dominic Sharp. Not sure exactly what Washington is going to have for us, but I'm sure they're going to be competitive. I'm sure they're going to want to play really good defense, try to score a lot of runs, and try to score early, put us in pressure spots. So we're looking forward to that matchup, and I'm just interested to see how our guys are going to respond as well. Thursday, Forest Park, obviously you look at the rankings, you look at the record, they're for real. They're a heavyweight in the conference, and Coach Howard does a fantastic job. I remember reaching out to him when, a couple of years ago when I felt like I was struggling as a coach, and I was extremely happy and grateful for how he responded and how he gave me just some advice to kind of get through a struggling point that we were having in our season. So I think the world of him, and he's a hard-nosed coach. His players are hard-nosed, and his program has taken off because of that. And they've always had really good success, conference, sectionals, you name it. That's a really good team. So we've got our hands full for that. It doesn't get any easier on Monday. Castle program I'm familiar with. Coach Welch and his staff have done such an amazing job, and the biggest thing that I love about that is the loyalty that he has with his guys, and they've been there for him, and he's been there for them. And I know Coach Welch just got his 400th win, I believe, last week against Mater Dei, so I can't wait to congratulate him on that. But I know, just like anybody else who's played Castle, they're going to give you everything that they've got. They're extremely talented. They're extremely disciplined. They've got a really good pitching staff. And we know we've got to attack fastballs early and really try to jump on them to get going. So looking forward to these games and looking forward to the schedule, how it shapes us, how it's going to make us for that run that we hope to make. And, we just can't wait to kind of take the field and really kind of see what we're going to do. So really busy week, really tough week, especially that next week coming up. So we're just excited. We're excited. We're just going to take it a day at a time, and we're going to see what that holds for us in the future.
And, PAC conference-wise, Southbridge sits at 4-0, but then you and Gibson Southern sit at 3-1. North Posey does too. Forest Park and Washington sit at 2-1. So there's a lot of teams with 1 losses. So
it's a mess. It's a mess. And like I said before, it's going to be a time where if you have a chance to steal a conference game, you're going to make that pitching adjustment. You're going to play maybe a little bit different style than you normally would when it comes to PAC teams. And you've got some teams that are in the race right now that want to continue to be in the race 2 or 3 weeks from now. So they're going to do everything that they can, us included, to try to win that game. So it's logjam at the top. Southridge, man, that's a really good program. Coach Mattingly does a fantastic job with his players, and they rebounded nicely from maybe an up and down year last year. Not quite the 2021 state champions, that they were kind of hoping to repeat for, but a really nice ball team, really experienced, and a lot of young talent. So, I'm not surprised that they're at the top right now. I know Forest Park is right there too. So, it'll be interesting to see how it all plays out here in the next couple of weeks. We just hope that we're in the mix, and that's really our goal. So we want to accomplish that, and then also be able to hold up the sectional 32 trophy. So, this conference is really going to help us do that, I think, with just the amount of talent, good teams, good coaches, and just the environments that we have to play in. I think it's going to shape us to be exactly who we need to be when the time's right.
Well, Coach, good luck this week, and go get 2 PAC victories.
I appreciate it. Appreciate the time again, Joe. Thank you for looking into Pioneer Baseball and getting to know us. And hopefully Trent will kind of enlighten you a little bit more about kind of what we stand for in terms of what we want to be as a program. And hopefully I think we're going to continue to keep getting good guys like him and really trend in the right direction. So we appreciate it, and hopefully we'll come back with some good news for you.
And you've been listening to the Eric Barnes Show on the Southwest Indiana Sports Network, powered by Milligan Brosford Communications. We'll see you next week.